God, is that you? No, it's me, Batman. Batman? What are you doing here?
You talked negatively about me in your first video.
I had to be honest, sir. I just had to be.
Shut up!
I'm just trying to say what's right.
I don't care about what's right. It's what we do that makes things right.
That makes no sense.
Neither did my movie, but still, you're in trouble for speaking negatively about me.
Sir, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to make it up to you.
You better.
I got it. I'll talk positively about one of your DC brothers.
Very well then. Give a positive review, and things will be okay between us. For now.
Right then. Just let me finish in here.
So I noticed you were a little pushy down there.
Cue title scene. Now then, as you can tell, I will be reviewing the show Arrow to Fix My Broken Bridge with Batman. Now, Arrow tells the story of Oliver Queen, who, a few years back, went on a fishing trip with his father on their big expensive yacht, the Queen's Gambit. That's right, Arrow is another show and another comic book character about a rich billionaire who uses pretty much just his money to be a superhero. Go figure. Now, on this ship, their ship exploded, and down they went, or so the whole world thought. Oliver and his dad survived on a little raft, and after the dad killed himself so that way Oliver wouldn't have to protect him, Oliver found his dad's journal. In it contained the names of everyone responsible for keeping their city that the show takes place in, Starling City, into a mess. After 5 years of misery and being alone on the island, Oliver is found and returns, and now he's going to track down the names on the list and bring back his city. Good premise? For the most part. The thing is that with the cancellation of 2010's Smallville, the CW wanted to continue the hype of, DC superheroes. Let's face it, DC can only get one character on the big screen a year. They need to make some more money other ways. Now, last year there was actually a failed Wonder Woman pilot. But the reason that some suspect it failed is because since Wonder Woman is so iconic, it's going to be hard to get her on TV again. So DC and Warner Brothers decided to go with a bit more of a lesser-known character, but someone who still had enough momentum to make you think they weren't just making themselves up. So that's why they went with Green Arrow. And if you've seen any of Green Arrow's like comic book interpretations or on the show Justice League, you know he's a little bit outrageous. But this show makes up for that by big means. This show is an honestly interpretation of what these things would look like in a more realistic way. He's not called Green Arrow, yet. The city has named him the Hood. Hood, a vigilante who goes and kills people using his green arrows. So we know where that's going to come into later. All the other villains, they use other DC villains like Deadshot, Deathstroke, all of which have been given a little artwork redo, so that way they can look like they'd exist more in reality. And does it work? Totally! This show is grounded, it's realistic, the characters are awesome. Oliver is at times wooden, but other times you just really feel for this guy and you want to be around him. This show really does bring the comic book genre into a main focus when you consider the only other big superhero shows out right now appear to be Ultimate Spider-Man, which is bleh, Young Justice, which is getting his butt handed to it, Green Lantern, which is also getting the axe, and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero, which you guessed it, is getting the axe. Because of this, we need Arrow right now. Not just that, let's face it, most of your other TV shows are boring and annoying. What do you expect people to watch? Secret Life of the American Teenager? Yeah, that show I'm happy is getting canceled. Arrow is a completely redo, a completely new interpretation of Green Arrow, but still concentrates enough of the mythos so that you truly feel like you're getting a show that has the respect and the era of its hero. Now, the only gripe with this show I have is that there's no real jump-on point. I actually, where I am, the channel, the CW, for some weird reason got blocked by our cable network for a few weeks. So I came into the show a little late and got really confused at first, and it took me a few episodes before I really fell in love with this show. But when I did, it was just amazing. All the other characters, too, feel great. The other main characters, there's this black guy named Diggle, who was a soldier who's now helping Oliver. He acts as a partner, but he almost feels kind of like a big brother, a mentorist kind of role. You know, he's a bit older, he's been through a bit more. The mom's really, you know, insane. She's really what's propelling the more mysterious edges of the plot, because she's just involved in something crazy. You have his love interest slash friend slash ex-girlfriend Laurel. You know, she just, when she's on the screen, completely steals the show. He's got a best friend, he plays in handy. The best friend's actually the son of the main villain, a man named Tom Merlin, played by the guy who also played Captain Jack on Doctor Who. Role changes! And the thing is that he really makes this show work. Everyone together just works together and propels it further. The only character I'd say is kind of useless would be his little sister, and that's solely just because you won't remember her name after each episode. But even she's the younger sister, she's Innocence in the show. She really helps the show too. Other than that, like I said, there's no jump on point. So to help people keep the story straight, DC is actually publishing Arrow comics. My recommendation for you would be, if you want to get into this show, not to get in right now. Like I said, it's hard to follow when you first get into it, especially now that the plot's getting juicy. I'd wait for the season to be over so you can buy it on DVD or rent it from Netflix or whatever you do, and also pick up the Arrow comics at your local comic book shop. Trust me, when you have the show and the comics together and you look at all as one big thing, this is epic beyond epicness. Because of this, I am going to rank Arrow all as one collective thing, both the TV show and the comic books, which, you know, they're just comics to help promote the show. So because of this, I am going to give Arrow a solid 9 out of 10 on the superhero scale / action adventure from the TV half. Why? Because this show is awesome, epic, adventurous, the cast feels real, the show feels gritty and realistic. But again, the only big gripe is that there's no real jump on point, but once you start watching from the beginning and know what the hell's going on, you will be sucked in too. And that is all there is to it. Hopefully Batman's going to leave me alone. We'll see you next time.